What's going on, y'all? Black Ink Crew, Season 4, Episode 5. Okay, let's get into it. It picks right back up where it left off last week. Now, if you go back and you look at the little extras that they do with VH1 after the shows, what's her face? Sky gave her version of what happened, and basically what she said was, Duchess, everybody was in the room and saw what went down. Duchess was with it for a second, but she was drunk. Everybody was drunk, but she said stop, and Donna stopped and left. Okay, so there really wasn't no fucking mouth rape and tongue rape or whatever you want to say. That sounds so stupid to me. But she was just going off and all that stuff. And all I can say is, Duchess, you really made yourself look stupid tonight. You really made yourself look stupid, as you always do, but even more today. Because, like everybody was saying, Donna wasn't going to say shit about what happened in Florida. You the one that was so guilty, or whatever it was that was going on in your head, had to hurry up and make up an excuse, and you started all this big old hoopla over nothing. At this time, Donna and Duchess going back and forth about what happened. Duchess was still lying about what was going on, and then what the fuck? Duchess was just keep saying that this girl took advantage, and then calling her a thot, calling her a hoe, calling her all this stuff. But y'all was cool at one point, and like last week they showed clips of, them being touchy feely with each other, even in the shop or whatever. But I never Duchess is not that. Duchess has been the same way that she acts towards Donna. She's been that way with just about all the females in the show. Hell, just about everybody on this show. She's gotten into it with Sky. She did the same thing with Sassy. She did the same thing with Kwani, but that's a whole nother shit. But and that was in the beginning too. She did the same thing with Walt and Teddy and all of them. Everybody didn't get into it with her, and everybody else didn't make up the side, even Sassy and them, they done made up with everybody, and I ain't even talking about Puma. But Duchess can't get fucking right, and she can't see that she is the fucking problem. She causes the problem herself, alright? Donna went and got her girl on the fucking FaceTime and said, bitch, you was there. Mind you, this how I know that I feel like Donna really is telling the truth, and she ain't got shit to hide, because she didn't come there prepared to tell that girl to say, so if somebody ever asks you, you gotta say this and say that. She hit that girl up on that FaceTime so quick, like, bitch, ain't this what the fuck happened? And when a person, to me, it sounds like a person is guilty all the time to me when they try to overtalk you so that the other person can't, speak. And that's what Duchess was trying to do. And all Duchess can do was throw out little slurs at, negative and nasty slurs, and calling Donna hoes and all this stuff. But yeah, you was cool with her. You let her fill up on you. All of y'all was drunk. Okay, just take responsibility for what happened. It fucking happened. Move the fuck on. We not calling you bisexual. We not calling you gay. We not calling you none of that stuff. Nobody was thinking about it but you. Donna didn't come to work that day to start no trouble. You brought that shit up. You brought that shit up to Caesar, and Caesar addressed it, okay? You could have kept your motherfucking mouth closed on that, and it would have been all to the good. Or told the fucking truth. Not your version of the truth, because your version don't sound like anything. Your man don't even believe your ass. All this stuff is going on in this shop in front of every fucking body, okay? Everybody. And, it's embarrassing. Caesar don't know what the fuck to do. Melody, I was sitting here with you, girl. I'm sitting here like, this some high school ass bullshit. What the fuck y'all really doing is protecting, look out for your fucking vagina. Like, have some respect for it. And Melody just was looking like, what the fuck did I roll up into? Me too, girl. Me too. I don't know why you there. Why don't you go over there to Puma shop? Maybe because Puma ain't getting that much airtime yet. But, I guess, because they actually look like I ain't gonna say they look like they do work, but because they only had one tattoo. Girl, we'll get to that in a second. But it was just, and then when Caesar goes outside to think, here come Duchess coming up to him, trying to be like, babe, I don't know what you want, what's going on. Like, I told you what happened, And she can't be up in here. She a thirsty ass bitch. I ain't know I was gonna go down there and be with somebody that was trying to take advantage of me and all this shit. Lip just hanging and everything. And he just sitting there like, bitch, I don't care. And then Donna had threw out there that Duchess had fuck oh shit. Let me tell you something. Caesar face really popped up like, you know? So, all that was just going on and she was just trying to convince him. Like she don't know how to play the role of I'm not guilty or I know I don't have to make up some bullshit or, fix things. She don't know how to just let shit go because she put like her guilt shows all on her face and her actions, okay? To me, when she came up to Caesar trying to smooth stuff over, she didn't even let him sit there and give it enough time for him to think about it. She just went out there immediately trying to plead her case and trying to clear her name up. And it was just too soon. And it just, to me, screamed like you fucking guilty about it, like you hadn't something. Like, what the fuck are you hadn't, bitch? Oh, you need to fire her. I'm not even here full time. I'm just here to do what I gotta do. And this thirsty slut bucket bitch. I'm sitting here like, but you a lying ass thirsty bitch, okay? Donna said, bitch, you done fucked 3 people up in this shop too. I said, who the third? Who the fucking third? It was like when Donna threw out there, oh, I see you got your ring on today. I said, bitch, Donna. That was funny to me. That was funny to me because she ain't really had shit else to say after that. But basically, and Donna was like, all she got is Caesar is my man, and my man gonna fire you and all that stuff. That's all you can say, And she did try to go out there and tell Caesar to fire Donna. And Caesar, I'm so glad that Caesar did not come back up in that shop and be like, Donna, you fired and all that stuff. Because he said, I mean, this some personal stuff. It wasn't like I ain't got no reason to really fire her right now. But what he did tell her was to go and take her portfolio and work on it. Meaning you just go work. You still doing work, but you're going to do work outside the shop. Okay, let stuff calm down. And he said it in a calm ass voice. And even Donna picked up on that. She was like, I expected him to come up in there screaming, going off and all this stuff. But he didn't. And you know why he didn't? Because he knew deep down in his heart that his bitch wasn't telling the right story. Okay, he knew somebody was hiding something, and it just wasn't making no sense to him. Okay, and so he did that, and later on, Ted and him had a conversation at the gym. I said, look at y'all. And Ted was like, so what you feel about that? I mean, this woman clearly don't respect you and all this stuff. We know Teddy don't like Duchess. And you can say that, he's talking to him for his own reasons or whatever. But most of the stuff that he was saying is true. Like, you're going to have to come up into your shop and see this stuff that's going on. And Caesar said, if it comes out that, Duchess did sleep with oh shit and then tell him before they got, no, then tell him, period. It don't matter if it was before they got together, because if it was before they got together, why is such a big thing that you couldn't tell him then? Be like, yo, look, before we got together, I did have this thing with, oh shit. You could have, why did you wait until all this stuff happened or whatever? You hadn't it. You fucking hadn't it, and you looked the fool. And he was just all this time, Teddy is trying to have his cousins back. Okay, you can call whatever you want to say about how Teddy reacts, but I feel like he really trying to have his back because he sees right through the bullshit. Because Teddy's looking at it because this is Duchess for who he is, for who she is. Caesar is looking at Duchess through a lover's eye because he's in love with this girl. But now he's really seeing some stuff, like it's too much stuff that's going on. And he's just like, this girl broke up with me, was ready to break up with me because I took a photo shoot with Buffy the Body and I didn't do nothing. But yet when I ask questions about certain things, you go down in Miami, you get fucked and all this stuff, and you asking, you can't really tell the truth about what's going on because everybody's version of the truth, everybody's version of this story is different from Duchess, and I'm just sitting here like, well, bro, you got to think about some shit. So he did have a conversation with Duchess at the end of the episode, and she crying and was like, what you want me to do to fix this and all this stuff. He was like, what if I accidentally, if I was drunk and Somebody asked, I woke up in a bitch, a nigga or somebody was sucking my dick. How'd you feel? I don't know. She was like, what? You don't know? You sitting here saying you don't know when you went off on this and this and that, but then something like this, you don't know? I don't know how you want me to react. I said, Duchess, shut up. He was like, you basically showing that you take me as a fucking joke. You not wearing my ring. He was like, all this time, I ain't never want to get married to nobody, but then you come up in here and you the one that I wanted all of a sudden get married to, and this is how you do me. Like, I felt bad for Caesar because you could tell he was conflicted. Like, I love this bitch, but this bitch lied too much. And he went in, he said, bitch, ever since I met you, you never took accountability for the shit that you done in things, your part and stuff. I said, preach, bitch. You better fucking preach. Because she never really has. And he was like, she's still fucking lying to me right now. And you know, she wanna and then start crying and stuff. What can I do to fix it? He was like, nothing. I said, oh shit. The roles are fucking reversed because y'all know usually it be Duchess going off like that over the smallest stuff. And you know, she lying. And you calling this girl all this stuff or whatever, and then like he said, you fuck Donna. He was like, bitch, you up here talking about something you ain't do nothing, but you have fingers up in your shit. I said, well, good goddamn. I just thought she literally licked the clit. But she was like, bitch, he said, how can your pussy fall in somebody's mouth? Caesar was not here for the bullshit. I can't even go fucking in on Caesar this episode. You know, I just felt he was blindsided about all of this stuff, all right? Like, girl, I'm just sitting here like, Duchess, just fucking say it happened and move on. You made the situation bigger than it should have been. Okay? Like I said in the beginning, you ain't even have to say nothing if you was really like that. You ain't even have to say nothing if you was worried about what might happen and who would think of you and all this stuff, and what happened to your relationship. You ain't even have to fucking say nothing. Okay? But then if you want to be one of those people that, you know, conscience weigh heavy on them and they have to tell the truth or whatever, you could have said, yo, babe, this what happened. And I'm pretty sure that Caesar would have felt the way, but it wouldn't have been like this. It wouldn't have been nowhere close like this on this negative side. All right. You know, you just made the situation fucking worse trying to cover your tracks, and you're not doing a fucking good job at it. Okay. Bitch, I can't wait till next week to see what Sky and Donna was fighting over. But anyway, moving on from that situation, like Duchess, you disgust me as a human being. You really do. You really fucking do. Like, you put yourself up here to make it seem as if you're so much better than the people who work at Black Ink. But then you come back to Black Ink because you need more money for your shop, and you making it seem as if Black Ink is the only place to be at. These people are low and beneath you, but yet you back at their shop because they was there before you. They made this together, okay? You came onto their territory, but yet they're lower than you. They ain't shit, but yet you need them, this shop, to get you some more money when you could have went to a better shop who could have got you some more money, or you could have had private clients or whatever. That's what you could have been doing. But no, you want to go to the shop. You want to go back to Black Ink to be on TV because that's season and all that shit. Bitch, you ain't fooling me. You ain't fooling me. You are that type of bitch that you cannot befriend because you you that motherfucker that I would tell you my secrets and all this stuff, and then as soon as I slip up or as soon as I say something the wrong way that you don't like, you will go out and go in on me and put all my info out. I don't fuck with a bitch like you. And that's why I keep all my stuff to myself. Okay? You will never know. People that I fuck with in the past that fucked me over, they fucked me over in a way that necessarily didn't hurt or affect my future or my life or whatever because they didn't know shit about me. They didn't know shit about me like that because I keep my shit guarded because I observed people before I let any of that shit go. There's only a couple of people that I fuck with heavy right about now who know some shit about me. But and if I know some shit get out there, I know who the fuck said it. Okay? One, actually three people. Okay? And that's it. Any, meeny, miny, mo, them hoes. Okay? Which one did I get into it first? But my motherfuckers don't do no shit like that. Alright? Because we mature people. Duchess, you still a motherfucking child. Okay? You's a childish ass bitch. Alright. But moving on from that. Then they had this little blurb with You know, Duchess did do a tattoo. Teddy was hitting on the girl because she was Malaysian Asian. She was Asian, and she was just about damn near every country in Asia. Okay, now I'm talking about China minus the Middle East because that's in Asia too. India minus that, but she was like Cambodian, Malaysian, Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, Vietnamese. Girl, she was everything in black. Okay, you know, and she was a pretty girl. She was a pretty girl. Not my type, but she was a pretty girl. And of course, Teddy was just fawning all over her. I was like, pick that jewel up, wipe your mouth, and then throw it away. But I didn't even care. I don't even know. I don't even remember if they really did a tattoo or showed her doing a tattoo, but whatever. Back over at Puma's place, um, his Naeem, the light skinned dude, he did a tattoo for um a friend of his who just became a father to a son. Elephant meaning new rebirth and all that stuff. It was nice. I liked the tattoo. I didn't care for the backstory about him being a player. I looked at him like playing who, nigga. But all right, you know. And his girlfriend came up in there and she was deaf. I was like, that was cute. They've been together for 3 years and they got a kid that's 1 year old, a daughter, whatever. But what caught me was, you know, she was deaf, and he said he learned sign language to be in this relationship with her. I said, come the fuck on. You better marry that bitch. You better marry. You didn't went that far. You need to go ahead and put the ring on it, okay? But I ain't finna learn shit for you. You ain't finna. That's just that Ashley. Like that don't benefit me, bitch. I just can you understand what I'm saying? You can read lips. That's all it is. Take them drawers down. You don't want to do that? Okay, fine. I'm gone. That just sounds so like a nigga for real. But come on, that was love right there. If you ask me, like damn, sign language. I mean, people would do that if you gotta find that right one that's just gonna make you change and do some shit without them wanting you to change or be like, bitch, you gotta change. No, it makes you change right on the instant on your own. I said I guess, but that was my neck hurt. Black Ink Crew. If I missed something, put it down in the comment. I got a headache. Duchess, fuck that bitch. Okay, fuck that bitch. I'll see y'all later. Peace.